Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. We got a jam-packed show. Gianni's going to join us. We're talking about the Steam sheet, and also we got to talk about some of these UFC lines and the crazy Serbia card. We got some interesting ones. Then we're also going to talk with we're going to talk with sorry, I messed my sheet up. Guys, I'm sorry. I washed some sheets for my buddy who has a dog, and I'm having like an allergic reaction, so I apologize for this. We're going to talk with our other guests about stuff. We got Thursday Hammer.
Joe Raineri, Andrew McInnis. I got your back, brother. And whether you can see me or not, I got your back, Andy. Don't you worry. Joe Raineri, MLB, Andrew McInnis, CFL. Frickin' Larry the dog's got Andy fighting allergies, folks. Give Larry a dog a like, baby.
Yeah, so my next door neighbor, his dog is Larry. Larry was on death row. My neighbor adopted him, and I washed his sheets yesterday, and I'm totally allergic to Larry, it turns out. So, yes, Joe Raineri and Andrew McInnis are joining us. So, apologize. We'll get through this together. We're coming off of 5% cash. And the tennis doubles. We do not have a tennis doubles play for the play of the day, but we do have a really, really good one in UFC. So let's do the play of the day, Dan. All right. This is kind of a little obscure one. Noah Gugnon. I really like this guy. I want to get Yanni's opinion on this one. Janicets is who he's fighting. This card's in Serbia, so you're going to see a lot of guys that you probably haven't heard of, but Janicet's recent strength of schedule is a mess. He's not very good. His most recent wins have come against aging opponents or lower level competition. And this is a big theory, and I want to get Yanni's theory on this. He's 29 years old, and he's 19-3. So he's had 22 fights, and he's won 19 of them, and he's just now making his UFC debut. This is a massive red flag for me. We fade these guys that come into UFC late because UFC looks at them and is just like, they're not that good. So Gugnon appears to have the better clinch game in the wrestling, and I think he can control Janicets against the fence. I think he can get some takedowns, and this was a plus 115 play. The market is agreeing with my take. It's now minus 115, and I still think that's a playable number. So I like Noah Gugnon as the play of the day. So let's bring in Yanni here. Yanni, I don't know if you've researched these guys, know much about them, but this is my play of the day. I just love this play, Gugnon. I think it's under the radar. What do you think?
Bro, that's my I can't believe you just brought up Gugnon, because that's the first play that I'm actually releasing to subscribers. And I'll tell you, it's a 4% play. I like it a lot. I just am pissed at myself that I didn't take it at plus money. And I swear to you, again, I'm not saying I'm a good guy, but I didn't do it because I wanted to release it to subscribers. But I knew, because half of my off screens didn't even have lines up yet. This isn't freaking wherever this is being held, in Serbia and shit.
Belgrade.
But yeah, they were in no rush to get lines out, especially with a big pay-per-view on deck after, which already even has lines. So to make a long story short, I was like, I can't send it out and have half the subscribers not even be able to get this. And then they wake up and have this at minus 150. You know what I mean? So I didn't. And now, I see, like you said, minus 115, and I don't think this holds. I think as more sharp bettors look at this matchup, they're going to come to the conclusion that this kid should. I think the fair line's about minus 150, where he wins, 6 out of 10 times. Strength of schedule is everything. You're absolutely right. I think he matches up extremely well. It's one of those matchups where, again, that not big name fighters, obviously, but I'm 100% certain that the public's going to be opposite us. Otherwise, this would warrant a 5% type bet, because then we'd really get a ton of closing line value, meaning not only would we have a good bet on Gugnon at, minus 115, but all of a sudden we'd have a close of minus 170, 180, but I don't think that's going to happen, because I do think that the public's going to be on the Yannick side. But yeah, I absolutely agree with that hammer. Glad you like it as well. And yeah, that's the first MMA bet for me this week. So I love it, brother. Love it. Real quickly, dude, I can't believe what was I going to say? I just have to share this, just how expensive everything is getting. I went yesterday because I got to go to the dentist. Like I got to go get on Friday a cleaning, and I don't know. Wow, I can't believe it's slipping my name. Like where they put the cover like on your tooth, a filling,
a cap filling. Okay, filling.
Yeah, bro, $2,700, right? To do both, like $1,500 for that, and then for a filling, and $1,200 for a freaking cleaning. It's ridiculous just how expensive like normal life is getting, bro. You like I'm seeing why more and more people are gravitating towards gambling and sports betting, like because they see big tickets and people winning money. It's kind of like we talk about who plays the lottery. Wealthy people don't play the lottery. Poor people play the lottery. The big score. And these sports books are just eating it up. Like the worse it seems like the economy's getting, the harder it is on people, the more they're rushing to sports books, casinos. And for guys like us, it's a good thing. We're seeing more value, but on the flip side, it's just awful to see. And I just wanted to share this real quick. And so I don't forget it. It's a perfect example of markets are the same all the way around. And it all comes down to proper risk management, whether you're going to make money in anything. Right now, this morning, there's a big chaos going on in the stock market. Like not chaos, meaning a big event happened that everybody's talking about. And over the last few months, this kid has become like the hot shot. He's been like in charge of this huge hedge fund that was focused strictly on AI, right? And he was talked about as he's the man. Like everybody was loving this kid, front of every magazine, and his company was called Situational Awareness, and it was all about artificial intelligence. And he was hailed as a genius. This kid in his early 20s, Leopold, who was managing, billions and billions of dollars. Well, you saw over this last couple weeks, as I talked about, I hope you're going to cash. All those AI stocks have taken a big hit, and it's not done yet. Well, he just got liquidated last night. So old school Ken Griffin and Citadel had to go in and buy what's left of this kid's portfolio because he was so leveraged. He was playing parlays is what he was doing. He was doing everything with options, with money that he didn't have. Like just like we see in the sports betting market where bettors want to make a lot of money with a little money. So they chase big parlays and team parlays and big tickets like that. And in the stock market, it's the same thing. If you don't have money to buy stock, you'll buy it in options where it's a lot cheaper. And institutions control those options. And many times, they'll push the price where it needs to go to where they liquidate a ton of people, whether you're long or short. Well, to make a long story short, it's a perfect example of no matter how sharp you may be, no matter how well funded you may be, no matter how much good information you may have, if you overbet your edge, you're going broke, and nothing's going to stop that from happening. Like all these companies will be fine. They're not going to zero. And in a couple years, that portfolio is going to do great. Now that Citadel has it and Ken Griffin has it, those stocks will rebound. AI isn't going anywhere. But this kid overbet his advantage. He overbet his edge. He thought they could only keep going up. And things happen. Wars break out, black swan events, and just like that. And for us, it's a cold streak. You're just the teams in the short term aren't doing on the field what on paper it appears they should be doing. And again, man, it was just such a perfect example of markets are the same because human nature is the same. It doesn't matter. Like, take us in and put us in the environment, we're going to do the same shit. And if you're not managing your risk correctly, all this is all nonsense. All the free picks, all the locks, all the 5-0s one day, all that is meaningless if you're mismanaging your risk. So in a long about way, forgive me, because I know you got a lot of other guests coming on with a lot of good information to help bettors. Please, please, please take time out of your day like you do for your handicapping and spend 5, 10, 15 minutes. Look at your bankroll, look at your risk, how you're betting, and make sure you're handling it correctly. Because if you're not, nothing else matters. Just ask Leopold this morning. Google that. Read that story about this Leopold kid, and you'll understand how even the brightest, when they gamble, bad shit ends up happening. It's just a matter of time. Because just weeks ago, he was being hailed as the sharpest, smartest person on the planet, the most profitable to date. Like, his investors are loving him. And just like that, within months, a cold streak wiped them out. One little cold streak wiped out billions, hundreds of millions, if not tens of billions of dollars in actual freaking cash wiped out because he overbet his edge. So manage that risk correctly. The rest will take care of itself. Sorry, had to share that.
No, I'll bring it up. I talked with Ski Profit yesterday. He's having a good WNBA season. He's hitting 56% of his bets. And my compliment to him was, that's the perfect percentage. You don't want to be at 70%. You don't want to be at 80% winners because you know regression is coming and you're going to get nuked when the regression hits. But over the course of the season, I believe you've talked about this with your football last year. It wasn't like you were low volume. You hit 90% of your bets. You hit 56% of your bets. It was just like steady, steady, steady. And then over the course of the season, you had a great season, but you hit the perfect winning percentage, which was that 56, 57%. But that's hard to accept because that means you have to lose 45% of the time.
Nailed it.
And
that's not sexy. That's not sexy, losing 45%.
It is in our business. If you know what you're doing, if you're losing 45% of the time, you're like,
you're the man.
You're on cloud 9. So, the big picture thing is always important, but everyone wants to know what's going on today. So, what do we have on the steam sheet today?
All right, a crown. That's what it was. It's a crown. It's a crown. Believe these guys are like, it's not expensive. I guess I don't know, man. I'm just too old, bro. I ordered sheets the other day. I can't believe the amount of money I spent on sheets, but we'll keep going. All right, we got. Two moves in WNBA, both sides, both favors. They laid the 11.5 on Minnesota, and they laid the 3.5 and 4 on Vegas. Both opposite the public, a little bit surprised. But again, public doesn't bet heavy on WNBA, but when there's not much going on, and it's even a slow day in baseball, you are seeing them parlaying stuff and even parlaying with baseball. And I'm seeing the opposites. They're taking both dogs in WNBA and sharps on Minnesota and on Las Vegas. Now, Major League Baseball, here's what we got. Narrowed down to legit moves. 902 St. Louis plus the 105 and even money. And the under 8.5 all the way to minus 125. They took 903 Minnesota at plus 120. 910 San Diego minus 130, minus 135. Even saw minus 140 in the account. 916 the White Sox at even money and minus all the way to minus 105. 916 under 8. White Sox and the Yankees, and finally under 9 in Seattle and the Dodgers. Not a lot of volume, but I did narrow down the ones that are actually legit. Like, again, didn't put a steam sheet out today because there's not going to be a lot to add to it, and they could just watch WagerTalk Today and save some money because this is what would be on there. But they have done well so far in the second half. Again, like I cashed 2 out of 3 of our baseball yesterday, been staying very selective. And I think that's the way to go. Don't be afraid to bet those dogs because you go, 2 and 1, even 1 and 1, and you got plus money, you're going to make a profit. So as we await football, do not be afraid to bet some of these baseball dogs. Ton of value on the board, and don't wait too long for football. I already released a week 0, if they're calling it, still in college football. So for that first day of college football, I already released a premium play to subscribers, and I made it a 3%, not a 4%, because the line already moved on me a tiny bit. Like, I wanted to be a 4% play so badly, but the line moved a little bit on me. So I had to go 3%, and that's going to happen. These week 1 lines, NFL, college football, they will be bet into between now and game day, and I promise you, the majority, if not all of the value, will be extracted. If you're waiting until Sunday of week 1 of NFL, Saturday, week 1 college football to place all your bets, it's going to be a hard week to turn a profit. Now, there will be opportunities those days because that's when the public's going to bet the most of their money, and they're going to knock a lot of these lines out of whack, which will then open opportunities up. But the vast majority of sides and totals, those lines will already be bet into shape by the time that week comes up, let alone that day comes up, man. So don't hold off. Futures already done. College football season win totals released. NFL season win totals released. Narrowed it down to 3 NFLs, 1.5%, 6 college football, 1.5%, and I also sent out my national championship futures and my Super Bowl futures. We are done with future bets, and now we could just focus on sharpening up those power ratings so we could get ready to do damage week by week. I am so ready for this football season. I'm really, really excited, man. So bring it. Let's have some fun.
All right. I have a question. I have all my success in baseball this season has been props. 20-6 run.
Player props? All player props?
Yeah. Pitcher props, K prop. Basically K props and outs props. Do you see that in the accounts?
Yeah, a ton of the out props. That's crazy you said that. I didn't used to see that, and I guess it's a very inefficient market because I'm seeing a ton of that. Here's the negative side of that. It's time sensitive. The stuff that they bet, the line moves a lot. And like, I don't even know if there's then any much value after, but more importantly, the concern I have is I'm getting the accounts shut down because of it. They're not able to write action the other way. So it's a dead giveaway that, okay, this is sharp stuff. So unless I'm feeding them parlays in there and other stuff, like, I'm going to get it shut down. And that's the only reason I haven't really focused on it. But most of us can. Like, if I was just doing this for myself, I'd be all over. That's what I would be looking at. Outs, pitcher strike, like you said. Keep doing it, Andy. And for your subscribers, what do they care? Like, they're not worried about, like, I'm part of a wheel. And if any of the us screw up, the wheel stops moving correctly. So there's certain things I can do and certain things I can't do. But for yourself, your subscribers, you'd be crazy not to be annihilating this markets. I know everybody wants to cheer in games, Andy, and what's on TV and Monday Night Football and all that shit. But if you have a guy that's feeding you nothing but winners on, I don't give a shit if it's strikeouts, if it's outs, if it's runs, anything, freaking yes, no, first inning run. Dude, take advantage of that. Like, that's what this is all about. Finding that inefficiency and destroying them until it's corrected. Because eventually markets do correct themselves. Like, it's a pretty efficient market. Again, they get 11-10, so they don't have to be perfect. And that's where we get our little bit of edge. You see those MMA lines this week? You have that Milicic victory. Plus 200, the minus 550. If that's not inefficient, nothing is. So there is inefficiencies out there, but they're rare. When you find them, destroy them. So, bro, I love that you brought that up, and I really hope your subscribers are taking advantage of it, and they're not like, oh, this isn't like exciting shit. You know what I mean? It's exciting when you cash and you get your envelope at the end of the week.
I'm doing my subscribers a favor. I don't normally do this. I am not betting those plays. I've seen what happens to my accounts.
That's the problem. I did that before too. I give them to my subscribers and I wasn't able to bet stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I sadly give them out, and I have not been able to take advantage of a 20-6 run just because I know what happens to my accounts. I know what happens to lines when I play them. So
Jackpot's doing great, Flop Man. Thanks for asking. He's just getting fatter because it's 110 degrees, and we walk outside, and he just turns around as quickly as possible, dude. Like he pees as fast as he can, and then just hightails it out of there. Like, let's go. He's just lazy, bro. His dad is supposedly championship bloodlines. I'm like, sure he is, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Championship bloodline can last 31 seconds.
That's how they hustled me into paying all this money for this freaking Chihuahua, dude. I love him. What are you going to do?
Yeah, Dan does the same thing in lacrosse lines when we give it out to subscribers. We tell people we got to play it within the next couple hours because once we play it, we know what's going to happen to the line.
Exactly. And you know what it is? It's not even like it doesn't have to be you or your subscribers even moving it. It's the fact that other sharp bettors are obviously seeing what you're seeing and more money's coming in on it. Exactly. And boom, next thing you know, value gone.
So Joe Raineri is supposed to join us. He's running a little bit late, so we get to keep you for a little bit. I released some, so I do NFL futures at the end of each show now. I'm curious, did the Chargers over 9.5 wins make your card? This was my favorite win total that I went over. So win totals, what'd you see? What'd you like? Chargers I gave out on this show was my favorite over.
The Chargers was your...
I love it. I love the Chargers over 9.5. Their offensive line is healthy. Their defense, they brought everybody back. They bring in Mike McDaniel as offensive coordinator. They're getting guys back from injury. Their offensive line was as bad as it could get last year, and I think it goes from a weakness to a strength. They won 11 games last year, and they gave up the last game of the season. They sat everybody. They didn't need it, so they gave away a loss at the end of they could have been 12-5, and the win total's at 9.5. I don't get it.
Here's why I didn't release anything on that myself because, again, I narrowed it down to the 3 strongest that I agreed with that like it lined up with also my quant stuff and I'm really tightening up how I'm doing stuff and the results are good and that's why I'm excited for football again this year. And the reason you're seeing 9.5 is because they did go under 10.5 at -140. Now 9.5 and 10.5 are two very different bets. By going over 9.5, it's a huge 100%. Difference. We're now playing 17 games. That's key here because there's even some that I left off because of that reason. Like a 3.5 went to 4.5, and at 3.5, yes, I like it. Where there was a little bit of value on Arizona at -3.5, but at 4.5, absolutely not. On like some of these bad teams, that's just what happened. That the over 3.5 on Arizona got the 150, 155. That they then went to 4.5. That's a completely different bet. At that case, I would probably even start to look the other way because it is that slim margin. Like you're not going to win these bets by 4 games. Like there'll be an outlier or two, but most of your season win totals, you're going to win by a game or two. Like it's going to be that close. They're not going to be that far off. So yeah, at 9.5, I like that's, and it's another example is why I left it off the card. I didn't agree with the move. And at 9.5, I could only look to go over there. Yeah, I agree with you. I do like the over, especially with the under also getting bet on the Chiefs. I know people expect, healthy Mahomes, them to do better, but the Chiefs also got bet under at 10.5. Some of the bad teams that I saw get bet over, I know everybody's really low on, and again, they're at the bottom of my power ratings too, but they bet the Jets over 5.5. They bet over on Arizona.
Oh my God.
3.5. And even Miami at 4.5.
See, I can make the case for Arizona, Miami. The Jets, I mean, one of my best friends is a Jets fan. I mean, it's just torture.
I have them. They're the bottom of my power ratings. They are the last.
It's a race to the bottom with these guys.
Over anybody, over anyone.
No, like the Jets, the Cardinals, the Dolphins, the Browns, it's probably a race to the bottom to try and get that number 1 draft pick. But the Jets, man, just walking disaster. So Yeah, I don't see that one. We also took the Browns under. I don't see it with the Browns with the quarterback situation, and they're being in rebound. Like, how can you explain to me that the Cardinals are 3.5 wins, but the Browns are 5.5?
Yeah,
the 2-win. It's a 2-win different. It feels like the same team that has no expectations of winning, and why would they want to win? They don't want to win.
I saw sharp money on under in Baltimore. I didn't agree with it really. Like again, winning 12 games is hard, and that's why I know why the Sharps went under in Baltimore. They went under in the Rams. I understand why they did it. I know even my quant, like the team he has winning the most games is Seattle, and even them he has them a little less than 11 games. So like he doesn't have anyone winning 11 games, but someone's going to do it. In fact, more than one team is probably going to win 11 plus games. They do every year because it's a small sample size in the NFL. So teams don't perform like models show. Like all models are wrong. It's just they're useful, but they're all wrong. That's at the end of the day, there's no correct model. That's the one thing you learn, but they're useful if they're good. And I think with the NFL, that's where people that have problems in working with quants, like thinking along those lines, because the small sample size means there's going to be that randomness. So even though on paper, no team should win more than 11 games, 3 teams may do it this year because of that small sample size of games. So there's some sharp moves where I understand why they're doing it, but I disagree with it. And I have enough confidence now and have done this long enough where I'm not going to piggyback things blindly if I disagree with them. Again, I know they bet under in the Rams. They bet under in Baltimore. They bet under in Seattle. Like they bet all those under, but I don't think they're going to be profitable when the dust settles. I think if you went under Baltimore, under Seattle, under Rams in all 3, I'm not too sure you're going to go 2-1. I had better shot going to 1-2 than 2-1.
This is my Jets fan. Hey, I will not stand for the Jets slander. Love is pain. Yeah, that's the Jets motto. Love is pain.
There's only one team that's coming into the season that had a worse defense, at least efficiency wise, but they're expected to improve, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. Like
interesting. Okay.
Believe it or not, but they did a lot of offseason moves, and they're expected to improve. And offensively, worse than them, at least efficiency coming in. This is off of last year's data with projections forward off the players. So it is projection forward, but off of mostly last year, past data. And they do have a few teams that are worse offensively than the Jets. Cleveland worse offensively than the Jets. New Orleans worse offensively than the Jets. And who else? Vegas worse offensively than the Jets. And Carolina. But otherwise, the Jets are right there at the bottom 5 in pretty much every category. And they have like a right outside the top 10 as far as strength of schedule too. So they even have a tough strength of schedule.
It's brutal. It's brutal. We'll go over UFC tomorrow, but Gianni,
absolutely, yes, sir.
We hit the Thursday hammer last week. The minus 240 Braves got home. So
I hope this is a coin flip. Are you kidding me? This is this should be the sledgehammer. This one, or bring out the jackhammer, bro.
All right, so let's do the Thursday hammer. Dan, hit the drop for the. All right, this is right up our alley. So this stems from Gianni found a person that gave out a hammer time play on social media, and it was completely ridiculous. So I got a great one. This week's hammer play comes from Cess Talks Bet. The motto is unfiltered, unbiased, unforgettable. All right, and if you go to their website, they're offering a meetup. For $210, you get to go to the South Carolina versus Tennessee women's college basketball game. You get a swag bag, a meet and greet, a ticket for the game, and light refreshments. Here's the problem, Gianni. The game is February 8th, 2026, which was about 5 months ago. So I wouldn't recommend you hitting that pay button for the ticket yet. But here's what they like. Josh Naylor, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, and Shohei Ohtani all to have at least one hit or run or RBI plus 192 in tonight's Dodgers game. That's your Thursday hammer, and don't forget to pick up your tickets for the women's college basketball game that was 5 months ago. There's your Thursday hammer, Yanni.
Man, there's
what are
so
the Sharks
much
saying?
Wow. The only good thing is when I first got into this, like in the gambling and stuff, there weren't places where I could go to show how little I knew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, believe me, I'd have looked like a big, if there was social media available, I'd have been ashamed of the videos and the content that I put out my first year of sports betting, first 2, 3, 4 years, because you think you know. So like that, there's nothing more dangerous than thinking you know when you don't. Like that's worse than not knowing. You know, people that are so confident in their incorrect opinions, and you see it with sports betting all the way. You know, the stuff that they give out and the work. Come on, at least last week was just 240 hammer. I get it, and it got there. It got there with or it lost in the Brave. You know,
listen, all they need is 4 people to have a hit in one game. That there should be no sweat. Absolutely no sweat. So, all right, Yanni, what do you have up for everybody on this Thursday?
All right, we got both college football and NFL futures are up. College football, 6 season win totals, 5%, 4%, and then there's a national championship package. A lot of value there. NFL combined. Season win totals and Super Bowl futures, just one package. So there's 3 season win totals with a 5%. And then my Super Bowl futures, 20-1 or greater. That's what we're looking for. And unless I'm able to confirm some baseball, I won't have a daily package. I shared the Steam sheet today. I don't want to bleed any units. Again, with football coming up, I even with tennis and MLS, which I'm originating some stuff, I haven't released anything the last 2 days because I want to put the capital where I think it's going to be most advantageous. And right now it is Major League Baseball and football coming up. So check back to see if there's a daily package, but both football and NFL and college football is up. Oh yeah, the UFC will be up too. So I have stuff over there. And I'll try to get something free out as well. But big couple of days ahead. The weekend is almost here. And best of luck to all. Thanks, Andy. Best of luck, brother.
Thanks, Gianni. Appreciate you always, man. Gianni the Greek, best in the business. All right, a 5% UFC play is up for us, and a 5% tennis doubles play went up just before the show started. So that play starts later this evening. We cashed our 5% just late last night. Finally, we get the match completed, and we hit a 5%. We're firing away. We got a really, really good read on tennis doubles this week. So 5% best bet is up in tennis doubles and UFC. Don't need to buy any of those individual plays. We have tons of specials. If you want to just get 3 days, we're giving you 3 days for the price. We're giving you 6 days for the price of 3. So you can lock that in. That way you get the tennis doubles play today as well as UFC. Some people were asking, hey, how do you find the tennis doubles? Check your sports book before you buy the play or buy the package, and just make sure your books give you the plays. I play this on DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM. All the books are available at my state. But somebody was saying if you go to the search function and search the players, it'll pull up the play on there instead of going to the actual doubles format. So that's a great way to take advantage of us. If you want something even better, we're running half price on 30 days. It's $149. It's half price. It's never going to be cheaper than this for the rest of the year. So $149 gets you 30 days, all plays. We got 2 5% plays in the next couple days. So appreciate everybody that jumped on board the 5% tennis play. Let's cash another one today. But we got to bring in Andrew McInnis, and we got to get our CFL fix in. So, Andrew, how are you, sir?
Doing pretty good, Andy. I feel you with the allergies, man. I didn't even know I was allergic to cats until my buddy got one, and I was like, why do I keep scratching my eyes every 30 seconds and don't want to go back to his house ever again? And then I realized I might have an allergy. So I feel you as far as that's concerned. Gianni's a tough act to follow. I'll tell you that. The longer he stays, the more intimidated I got to follow up a guy. The energy he brings is just completely unmatched. But in a good mood today, man. We got CFL stuff ready to rock. My first 5% baseball play of the season. So feeling pretty pumped, man.
Don't you threaten me with a good time with a 5% MLB play. That's awesome. Let's talk CFL, and then we'll go over your MLB play. So we got a couple games to go over. Lions versus Blue Bombers, Alouettes versus Red Blacks. We'll start with this Lions and Blue Bombers. But first, just give us a little outline of what happened last week. Are the overs continuing to cash? What are we doing in CFL?
Well, the odds makers have definitely adjusted, Andy. Like the numbers have gotten a lot higher. We have seen a couple unders a little bit here, but one thing I'm going to tell you, look, is that the league has been very competitive this year, more than the past couple years. Like I remember a few years ago talking with you just behind the scenes and just saying, "Hey, man, there's 3 or 4 teams, and everybody else just sucks." And now this year, it's been a lot better. It's been incredibly competitive. We've got some storylines. The Elks, they were absolutely the laughing stock of the league for a while, and now they're one of the top teams. So it's been really great to see. And we've got some teams that, of course, I mentioned last week to you, BC and Toronto, that dealt with some travel issues because of the World Cup hosting, and now they've got that out of the way. So the excuses are done. No team has any excuses anymore, Andy. We're all set. As far as this game tonight is concerned, Winnipeg and BC, this is the lowest total on the board. Opened up at 54.5, has slid now to 53.5. The 3 other games pretty much settled in at 60.5, hadn't moved around too much. But one thing we've learned, if we've learned one thing this year in the CFL, is that the drop-off from starter to backup is more significant than ever before. And I know we say it in other leagues as well. I'm not going to sit here and try and say in the NFL when a backup comes in, we don't see a different product, because we have. But I'm going to continue to bet unders when we have backup quarterbacks in games. And look, it's gotten so bad, Andy. They're not just on their backup tonight. This is a third stringer for BC. They said the backup was so bad, they gave him a game and a half of a tryout. He didn't cut it, so we're going to the third string guy. So Caden Salter gets the go tonight for BC. His first career start for the Lions. And I think it's going to be just a very simplified game plan. Look, from what I've learned about this guy, he can make moves with his legs. He has an arm, but I think that Buck Pierce is going to create a really simplified game plan. This is a team that even when Rourke, their stud QB, was healthy, they weren't looking that good. As far as Winnipeg's concerned, coming off a game which they gave up 50 points against Calgary. You might think I'm crazy taking an under here, but this is going to be a game, I think, where Winnipeg tries to establish their run, simplify their game as well. And Drew Brown's coming off his worst game of probably his career, or definitely this season. 1 touchdown pass, but 4 interceptions. This has the reins to be a simplified, very slow, methodical game that drags out, but it's not too exciting. And if there's only one way we can do to watch a game like that, it's by making money on the under.
That's astounding that the backup was so bad that they just moved to the third stringer. I mean, that's rough. You feel bad for that guy. Like, because if you can't cut as the backup in the CFL, might want to pick a new career path, brother.
Well, the worst part was I had a parlay last week, and it was Riders and Argos money line. The Riders one was the first game of the week. You can say bad beat. We all think our beats are bad. They lost. So I decided I had a 5% play going Sunday and a 5% play going Friday. Don't ever usually have 2 going in 1 week. So I was like, all right, Andrew, you're going to be on last call on Saturday. You've already talked to everybody about the Argos first half play you like as well. The parlay already lost. We're going to stay off the Argos game as an official play. And everybody I trust in the CFL that I work with, we're just like, dude, BC should have just not shown up. That game wasn't even close from start to finish. So it's like I'm having a great year and I'm pissed because after I lost the parlay, I decided not to jump back in on Toronto over BC. And like, Andy, it wasn't even close. Like it was just so one-sided. So look, this game to me, if it's at 54.5 down to 53.5, whatever it might be, I think the under is just a strong play here.
I'm sorry.
Mic drop
today.
Mic drop.
Literally a mic drop. That wasn't a mic drop. That was a mic knockover. Sorry for everybody that was listening in their AirPods at work. Let's talk about the Alouettes and the Red Black. I still can't get over that the Elks are like a good team in CFL. After all those years, it was just like, you could have retired off of betting against the Elks money line. I still can't wrap my head around it. So this is going to be like in like 5 years that the Cleveland Browns are like competing for the number 1 seed in the AFC or something like that. So, all right, let's do the Alouettes and the Red Blacks. This is a Friday game. What do you make of this game?
All right, Andy, I got something for you here. I know you like all your features. I believe I've showed you this before, but we're going to go to the fade the writers theory. And nothing against the CFL writers, because I actually did just recently get a CFL writing gig, so I'm doing my own version of this. But let's bring it up, Dan. We've got 3 games that are relatively chalky this week, and a lot of people are on just one side. We've got Winnipeg, we've got Monreal, Calgary. One of them's going down, all right? One of them is going down. And when you look at these writers, not one of them have taken a dog. And maybe Calgary could be the one. Maybe Montreal could be the one. Who knows which team goes down. But I'm telling you, when I look at this game, there's a good, solid chance that Ottawa hangs around in this game. Their Super Bowl is just keeping it close against Montreal. I'm not saying they'll win, but they're going to keep it close. And when I look at this game, the best way to go is a way that if I know Andy Lang's going to like something, I know you're going to like this, is a player prop. Because forget about the point spread. Forget about the point spread. I think the biggest misunderstanding in player prop betting is that when you bet on a player, it means you think their team is going to win or cover. Because this is an instance where you've seen it on our prop shows together, Andy. When I'm betting on Zach Wilson, I didn't ever think his team was going to win. But I think he's going to have absolutely no choice but to throw the damn ball. And that's the case for Jake Maier here. Over his last 5 games, averaging just over 300 yards per game. At DraftKings right now, you can get over 287.5 on Jake Maier over on his passing yard number. He recently played against Montreal just a handful of weeks ago. He put up 336 yards. And if you look at this Montreal team, they have not beat anybody by more than 7 points all season, besides last week, when they got probably one of the top 3 backdoor covers I've seen in my entire life. So this is a team that's dominant. They win games, but they let teams hang around. So, look, I'm going to take the player prop with Jake Maier. Wouldn't really argue with anybody taking the Red Blacks on the spread. And again, looking at this, I'll tweet the graphic out if we can't pull it up, but when you see the writers' picks are being submitted in the CFL, you just have to know. Here we go. Look at this. No. Look at this. Like, I don't mean to be a dick here, but somebody is like 12 and 18 picking straight up winners. And this is talking about games that are -7, -8, whatever. One of these teams is not winning, Andy. We got to figure out which team it is, but one of these teams is going down. Man. We got to figure out which team it is, but I do think Ottawa keeps it close.
That's great. I love it. This is the ESPN one where they all do their Monday Night Football picks. Yeah. like they all pick one team and then they end up like 40% winners for the season. So I get it. I love it. And yeah, player.
If you're on that ESPN panel, do you just ask to go last and then just fade everybody else? Like you wait to see what they like and then just go the other way?
No, if I'm on that ESPN panel, I just try and come up with the hottest take, the most blistering take you can possibly come up with. You're like, I think the starting quarterback's going to be hurt in the first series, and the backup comes in and wins, because that's the one that gets clipped. They have like 13 people picking the play of the game, or the winner of the game, and there's only one game and 13 people are picking it.
They're like, I think the -10 favorite's going to win outright tonight. Shocker.
Bold take. I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Browns. I got a feeling in my gut. So, all right, what do you have up for everybody today, Andrew?
Yeah, Andy, look, I'm going to tell you 5% MLB play. I don't do a ton of best bets with baseball. 2, 3, we've had some 4%. We've dialed in more since the All-Star break. But, we talk about transparency here on the show. And this is what I'm going to say. Since May 1st, we're up close to 70 units all sports. But you'll notice a lot of people release 5% plays when they're on a massive, massive run. Oh, I've hit 7 of my last 8. It's time for a 5%. I'll tell you. I'm on a tough stretch the last 7 days, but all of my numbers, all of my prep, all my research for today's baseball card led me to this play. So just because I'm on a tough stretch the last 7 days, probably my worst since, early May, I would say, it's not going to take me away from releasing this 5% baseball play. That's how much I liked it. So number 3 at WagerTalk 2026 with 5% rated plays, well over 40 units. So if you want to get that, buy 3 days, you get 3 extra days. That's the way to go. But I got one more great special I'd like. If anybody doesn't want that baseball pick, you can use this here, guys. CFL and NFL player props. I don't do too many ATS or total bets in football, mostly props when it comes to NFL. You get this package. You get the rest of the CFL season and all of my NFL player props in one package. Regular $4.89, you get everything for $3.99, and we'll do our best to make sure CFL pays for it, and you're just free rolling with NFL player props all year long. So that's it for me, Andy. Looking forward to it. Hopefully today's the day we snap out of the baseball funk, and no better way to do it than with a 5% play.
Let's do it. Rocking with you, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining us, Andrew McInnis. Got a 5% in MLB today. Good luck on that one. All right, we're going to close the show with a team total. Interesting that Gianni brought it up. We picked the Kansas City Chiefs on their win total. So tomorrow, going to go over some Ravens props, and we're going to look at the Chiefs' 10.5 wins. I've got some big concerns for the Kansas City Chiefs. So 3 of the first 4 games, really, really good chance for Patrick Mahomes to get back into the swing of things. 3 of the first 4 games, the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Raiders. Kind of mixed reviews on what the Colts are going to be. I don't think they're going to be that good. I don't believe that Daniel Jones is going to be nearly 100%. So I think those are pretty good games to get started. They do have the 10th easiest schedule, but they do have some tough games. They're at Seattle. They get Denver twice. 3 straight weeks, end of November, at Buffalo, at Rams, at Bengals. Those could be 3 really tough games. So we go back to 2024 where they won a bunch of one-score games. Last year, that didn't happen. 1-9 in one-score games. After the bye week, the Chiefs lost 7 out of 8 games. Mahomes, here's the thing about Mahomes' injury. He tore his ACL on December 14th. I just don't think he's going to be 100% back to himself for at least the first half of the season. One of the things that Mahomes did fantastic last year was put the team on his shoulders, and he ran the ball a lot when plays broke down. He's not going to be able to do that. They can't depend on him to bail them out all the time. And I think they know this. They picked up Kenneth Walker, so we know they're going to be relying on the running game. They are going to have Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Travis Kelce as a receiving options, but they have some real problems on the offensive line. They ranked well outside the top 20. Their defense is somewhat mid-level. My biggest concern here is Mahomes is just not going to be 100%. He's not going to be the Superman Patrick Mahomes. I don't trust it. I think this is an under for me. So I'm going to lean under 10.5. I think they get to 10 wins. I think 9 is most likely. But these ACL injuries that happened in December, I'm just not sold on this one. So I'm going to take the Chiefs under 10.5 wins. It's just ever so slightly going to miss the client card. I'll probably put it up as a free play, but I don't believe Mahomes is going to be the guy that he was in years past, at least not for the first half of the season. So, all right. How is the defense? Defense is okay. Good, not great. So if you got problems on the offensive line, a quarterback coming back from injury, I'm just not really sold that they can do what they do when they were at their Super Bowl level. So getting to 11 wins just feels like it's a tall task, and their schedule is just a little bit too tough. So All right, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Hit the like button. We got a 5% tennis play that is up, coming off of a 5% tennis win. Nice win in MLB yesterday with a 4% winner. No play in MLB today. Pretty limited card. A lot of games start early, so we're just going to focus on the 5% tennis play as well as the 5% UFC play that goes off on Saturday. We got a locked and loaded show tomorrow to get you ready for the weekend, so take time out of your day to join us tomorrow, same time, same place. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.